Hi folks, Doc here. Back in 2020, at the end of COVID, or not at the end, obviously at the end of 2020, when we were still in the throes of COVID, I decided that I wanted to buy a Woodmizer sawmill. So I ordered one, and it took about 6 months or so. I can't remember the exact number. I think I ordered it in November and I got it in May or something like that. It took a little while. And the day came, a sawmill showed up. The truck dropped it off at the bottom of my driveway. I picked it up with my little Kubota tractor, brought it up the hill, and I thought, that doesn't look quite right. And it wasn't. It was a 7 horsepower entry-level SBX 25 or something like that sawmill. Now I contacted Woodmizer, and they took care of it very quickly. And a great guy named Joe Whitley from North Carolina, who's a Woodmizer dealer, came over, brought my LT15 start over and took the smaller sawmill back. So I can't say enough about Joe. I can't say enough about Woodmizer. They took care of it very quickly. So the videos I've had since 2021, and in those videos I show, kind of unpackaging it, taking it off the crate, and basic setup. I don't do a lot of in detail stuff here because you can see that in the manual, and you can see all kinds of videos online. I'm not going to do that. I don't pretend to have a great grasp on how to set it up, but I'm going to show you a little bit of sawing at the end of the video that I recently did. I sawed up some cherry wood that I had hanging around and some pine, and I'm going to use the pine to put a bed in my utility trailer. So that's what's going to be going on. But this is back. I think I even, as I was reviewing the video, I think I even went back and said this is the first real video I'm recording for this YouTube channel. So it's been 4 years ago, and I still don't have things going the way I'd like to have, but I'm trying to get there. So I hope you can get something from this, and I guess I'll check back in with you at the end here. So a quick question for you. How many of you have a Woodmizer sawmill sitting in your driveway that's been there for 4 weeks waiting for you to do something with it? Probably nobody but me. I have that going on right now, and it's been here, as I said, for 4 weeks. Someday I'll tell you the whole story behind that, but essentially too much going on, too many things happening to get it all done, and got a lot of plans in the next few days and a few weeks. So today I'm going to start this process of trying to get this thing moved to where I want it to tentatively put it and start using it. We'll see if that becomes the full or the final place where I put it, but we'll see about that. Not sure, but it certainly will be the first place that I set it up. I'm going to try to saw some things there. That won't happen today, but I'm going to try to bring you along and show you my process, which may not be your process, but my process for starting things up. All right, so here we go. It's not going to work the way I need it to. Let's try this one. There we go. So there it is in all of its glory. Some things to unpack on it for sure. I'm going to go through the instructions here, try to figure out what needs to be done when, why, how, and we will get it unpacked and see what we got. The handy instructions, which I have right here, say that I should pull this handle off first, and that's what we're going to do. Take the handle off. I'm supposed to move this up to the operation location, but that's going to take place in a moment here. So that's off. Take this block off here. So this plate holds the saw head in place. 9/16 socket size, by the way. Pull that out, those cap screws out of there. There we go. Okay, come on here. There it goes. Out. And let's see. The upper location. So this has to go in like this, according to what I'm seeing here. So we'll take these two, put them in here. I think that's right. Looks right. According to the instructions. We'll hope so. And we'll tighten these back down. It helps if you can just go ahead and get yourself all squared away here without beating anything up. There we go. Alright, so that's in place. Still have a cap screw there that I'm just going to hang on to. I'll put it right here temporarily. And maybe not. Maybe I'll, yeah. I think I'll put it right here temporarily. And pull it out later. Okay, there's a locking bolt on the other side over here, so let's go see what that looks like. This locking bolt is right. Let's see, where is it? Is there a locking bolt? I don't think I see another one. Yeah, I don't think so. I think all we have is this pin up here, not really a bolt. So I think this pin is what locks in place. Let's see if I'm right. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Oh, it's not good. It's not good yet. I believe that was what had to happen though. So that's out. Not a bolt, but instead a pin. Now the question is, so that works. It moves up and down that way. We're in good shape. So the carriage hold down clamps are right here. So I put some hardware away here. Let's see. My head's in the way, I apologize. I believe this is too big. Need a 1/2 inch. Be right back. Actually, I'm back sooner than I thought because I already had a 1/2 inch. It's about 90 degrees here today, so I'm trying to do this in the evening when it's a little cooler. Work on what you can when you can, obviously. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. However, here's what I need. Let's do this. Here we go. Alright, so the carriage hold down clamps are removed. What else is there? We're supposed to remove just the bolt from over here. Let me show you this bolt. So supposedly, we're supposed to just remove this bolt right here. Maybe like that. Let's see what we got here. Just this bolt. And it's out of there. Alright, so once that's done, we'll just leave the bracket in place, remove the rail wiper and log clamp from the shipping location, which is what you guys are mounted on right now. I need to move that, so I'm going to have to move you guys. That will not reach, so I need a 1/2 inch deep well. This may not be a half, this may be a 9, it is a 9/16, I think. Aha, there we go. That's why you bring a couple of things with you when you come out. The whole thing's turning, so I'm going to have to go get a wrench. Also a 9/16. We'll be back. So let's see what we got now. I'm going to use the side of my rails here as a holder. Probably. Alright, let's get this other side. And there we have the log clamp and the wiper loose. It's looking like it might rain, folks. Let's see. If it does, I'll have to put things away. Cut these bands off. The zip ties. It's amazing how ubiquitous the zip tie is. Everywhere. Set the bed sections on a level surface. Okay. Attach lifting strap to the mast beam. Lift the mast and head of the mill from the crate. Okay, so we're ready to pick this thing up and move it. All right, folks, we go now. And right here is where it would have been nice to have a little bit of help. 2 people makes the job a lot easier when it comes to moving things like this around, but often 1 person's all I got. Well, there it is, such as it is. It's off the skid, off the pallet, ready to be in place out in the back of my shop here. So I'm going to try to, again, a temporary spot for now. Got that off pretty quickly, just a few bolts. Things are pretty well set there, no problem. Got it all set up. I need to figure out what else to do with it here, I think. Right now, it looks like we're going to have to go take a couple of straps off. You can kind of see them here. This strap right here, and it looks like this strap over here. This has to come off. Obviously, when I took it off, when I took the head off, this side of the bed lifted up, so I know that that's working fine. It'll lift right up. So we'll take care of that here in a minute. I guess I'll go ahead and take these beds back there and just kind of have them roughly in place. So we'll do that here shortly. And of course, here's one of the beds. I've got that suspended off the forks on the front of my tractor. You got to put the legs up from underneath there, and I'll show you more about that here in just a second. Ideally, here I'm talking about it would be good if your surface is level enough that all of your legs have the same distance between the bottom of the foot and of course the fastener. Now you don't get that. You've got to level it up independent of that. But to start off, I thought I'd go ahead and put it in a spot where everything was adjusted equally. Now here's a little bit of an excerpt. I'm going to show you how I put this together, because you've got of course the foot there, and you have it's basically a piece of steel that holds the nut, the square nut, captive. You can see I put it in backward here. I got to put it from the other side and turn the hole to the other side there. So we put that in. The square nut actually goes between those two pieces, and you have to center it up so the hole is right there. And of course that square nut is held by the side of the sawmill, so you don't need anything to hold that once you get it in correctly. You'll see that here in just a second. So once that's installed, then you can thread the foot in from the bottom. You can see nuts all aligned here. We'll put the foot in, and your adjustment then is made by virtue of the nut on the bottom of the foot that's essentially cast into or welded to the bottom of the foot. So when you turn the nut, the whole foot turns when there's a load on it. And you use that with a level to kind of get everything situated accordingly. So this has to go all the way in, and I'm talking to you about what's happening. And there it is, all the way installed. All right, folks, so essentially I've gotten a little bit of what I wanted to get done today. I've got a couple of the legs in. I'm going to finish putting the legs in, both the two bed sections here. I'll get those in, and we'll get that done. Get all the legs installed in the bed sections. Starting to get a little bit late. It's cool, but it's a little bit late, so I'll probably try to get both of these done, and we'll work on setting them up probably tomorrow morning. So I'll try to bring you along for that as well. And until then, we're going to just check out for a little while. So as luck would always have it, you tend to do some things you shouldn't have done, and you don't do things you should have done. As I was working on this the last time, one of the things I did do that I probably should, well, not probably, that I shouldn't have done, was that I ended up putting this in, this bolt. And I'm going to take this back out, separate these two beds, move everything over. You can see I want it to be farther over there. There are my stakes. I want it to be farther over. And this was my first stab at it, but I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'll bring you along for that here in just a moment. Maybe you can see that a little bit. A little bit better right there, perhaps, maybe. Let's take this apart. I don't think I even need any. Well, I will need a ratchet, it looks like. Roosters are going crazy today. Which they do every day. Yeah. We have too many roosters. More than one rooster is too many roosters. But my daughter's a chicken lover, and she's not going to let me give them away or eat them. But these big bolts are They are the thing to clamp it together. One of the things you have to do with this is there is a little clamp. It's kind of an alignment, set of alignment dowels. They go right in here. Now, obviously, that's not going to align, and that's okay. I think I need to go get my socket. Do this the right way instead of trying to be a slacker. Ratchet it on, it will tighten all this down. I can level it up here a bit later. We're about to wrap it up for today, I think. For this morning, anyway. I've got other things I can do. And truthfully, it's getting pretty hot out here. It starts to get this hot. And you don't have to be outside working in it. Probably doesn't make sense to be outside working in it. There we go. So that's got us one step closer. We'll continue when I feel like getting out in the heat again. I'm not sure how well you can hear me. When last we looked at the Woodmizer, I think it was about June, the end of June, maybe the weekend of July 4th. I'm sure it was that, no later than that. So the Woodmizer has been here undercover since then. Been really busy, haven't had a chance to look at it. Have you ever bought something knowing that it would pay off, but not really being able to predict when it would pay off, and taking way too long to make it pay off? Well, that's been how it's been for me. So it's that type of situation. But it's here. We're going to kind of look at it today, try to get it set up. Probably won't document this, but I'll document when it's set up, and then we'll go from there. See what we got here, friends. I got this thing back in May. Worked on getting it all set up. I have all 3 of the beds down now, so that's all down, all leveled. I've got it on concrete block here, which is not going to work long term, I know, but I don't want to put anything permanent down because I don't know for sure exactly where I want it to be. So it is that. I got it back in May. This is November, the last Friday before Thanksgiving, and I'm just now getting a chance to really take an in-depth look at it. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get things situated here, get the blade on, and see how things come together. But so far, looking pretty good. I'll check back in with you once I get things set up. And here's the sawmill. As I'm trying to kind of get it into action for the first time, I have the very first band that I put on it. And you can kind of see me working through this process. It was a really windy day, so I didn't record. I didn't have good audio with this. But there are clear instructions in actually the box and in the owner's manual about how to take the bands loose. Now this is an adjustment tool that's attached to this wheel here in the sawmill. This is kind of an idler, I suppose, on this side of the sawmill. That adjustment tool attaches to the band itself to see that you have the right tilt, the right angle on your idlers or on your rollers that are at the bottom there. So you see, grab that sawmill and wear some leather gloves, some thick leather gloves, because this thing will cut you in a heartbeat. But what you have to do is you feed it in, work it around the idler on the right side there. And this is kind of the powered wheel. And then you go ahead and stick it through the channel at the top and over the other idler here on the left side in front of me. And when you do that, make sure you have it over your rollers on the bottom, those silver rollers. And they're just for the adjustment of everything. And there's an adjustment, or actually a tensioning bar right behind the idler here on the left. You can go back there and you tighten the whole belt up. And then you engage everything through the idler on the right side. There's a drive wheel there, and it's what you power. That wheel, that wheel on the right side there, that idler on the right side, is attached to the crankshaft on the engine, and everything runs. You just have to crank it up and engage it. I'm going to go back here on the other side. I'm going to engage it as if we're running, and you'll see it tension everything up. And there you go. There's a belt, and it would tension that up, and it's going to engage everything. But I'm just kind of looking at it here. Now, what I'm going to do is kick this back out of gear, so it's not going to be engaged at all. And then I'm going to take a quick look. You can see the handle that's hanging down there. When I tighten this up, it's going to, when I engage it, I guess, it's going to tighten up that band. And you can roll things around there, and it kind of self-centers, and off you go. So you're ready to get to work sawing whatever you want to get sawing. Make sure the band is level with the tool that I showed you earlier. And there are clear instructions in the owner's manual for that. But once you do that, that's pretty much it. You're ready to get to work. It's on there, and I've got to do some adjustments yet. I'll get that done. This is the tensioner, so this actually controls the tension on, I guess it would be the idler. There we go. All right, so I'll get that adjusted, and we'll come back after that and see what we can do. So here's the first thing I wanted to cut on the sawmill. You can see I have this stump. It branched off into a couple of separate trunks that went up, formed a big Y. And I've got it braced here, but I don't have it secured as much as you need to have so that it doesn't move. If it moves on that band, you're in trouble. Now, I didn't realize this at the time, So this is my first attempt at making this happen. And as I worked on it, I wanted to just try this and see if I could make it work. I see as well, if you pay attention to the lever just above the Woodmizer logo there's a handle sticking up. And I don't think I had that fully engaged. There were some problems that I had somewhere here. So here's my first cut. And I'm kind of checking, is it going to clear everything? And my answer to that is yes. But there's something it isn't going to clear. And if you look at those wooden braces I have underneath the end of the log, I didn't realize I was going to hit those with the other side of the leg of the roller on the mill. So as I try to pull it back, you can see there that the handle jumped and moved forward. And I just have a big mess right here. So this is when the fun stopped and the learning began. Now, they say that life or experience is the harshest teacher because the test comes before the lesson. And the lesson I learned is you gotta have everything out of the way on the runner there. It makes sense. I knew that already. I just didn't double check myself. And you have to have that log secured, because if something happens, you need to be able to disengage the blade, always disengage the blade, roll it back out of there.
You learn.
And you could hear me say there, you learn. At any rate, here's what I ended up coming up with. I'll have some more sawmilling coming up later, but I ended up getting everything milled down. I had it looking pretty good, and I've used some of this wood here in my home since then, so it worked out nicely. And I enjoyed that sawing. I've got another video coming up next where I try to put some wheels on this thing and make it mobile enough that I can move it around. Well, that wraps it up for this one. As Mark Twain once said, it's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. That really has nothing to do with this video. I'm not trying to fool anybody, but I want you to just kind of think about that. I think that's a great quote. It's time for me to get out of here on this one. I'll bring the next video out as soon as I can with the installation of the running gear and some actual sawing that I'll just give you a little bit of that as we go forward. But until I see you again, endeavor to persevere.